Hey everybody, Justin Pittman here again from Precision Fly and Tackle, and we're here tonight with Brian Kessel, and he's here to talk to us a little bit about conventional fishing on the Susquehanna and Juniata River. Before we get started with this, everybody that's starting to tune in, do us a favor. Share this, like this now. This gets it out to more people. This helps us out, and we greatly appreciate it. So like I said, we are here tonight with Brian Kessel. Brian is, in our opinion, one of the top conventional guides on the Susquehanna River. Brian's going to guide through the shop here. Brian's also an independent guide, so that we'll give you the information here at the end of this video on how you can reach out to Brian to book a guide trip with Brian in the future. So Brian, thanks for coming out tonight. We do appreciate it. Brian, why don't you talk to us a little bit about a day on the water with you, start to finish. What does that angler, if they book a trip with you, what should they expect from start to finish? How's that work?
My guide, usually the trips run 7-8 hours. I pretty much supply everything. I have all the tackle, all St. Croix rods. I use a lot of their top, their best rods they have. I supply all the baits, everything, all the lures. You just bring an adequate outerwear. Always say sunblock, sunglasses, and a lunch. And I have everything else for you.
Okay. So you've been guiding, Brian, give us a little background. How long have you been guiding on the river?
Since 99.
Since 99?
Yep.
Okay. So, and we're going to talk about some of your rigs here in a minute, but since 99, so if I book a trip with you tomorrow, I need to bring my lunch and appropriate outerwear for that day, and you'll supply everything else. Now, if I want to bring my rods, will you work with me on getting my rods up and everything?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. So one of the things here at Precision we want to talk about, and the next questions, one of the reasons we brought Brian on to a team. Brian's not only a guide for this shop. We're looking to bring Brian onto the shop to help us here and our conventional tackle side. And one of the things that we've been working with Brian on is just how do we set this shop up to be a productive shop for central Pennsylvania and some of the surrounding areas. And Brian's going to talk a little bit about, my next question for Brian is, Brian, talk to me about your go-to setup for the river for spring bass. And that means rods, reels, baits, etc. How do you approach that?
March and April is what I consider a pre-spawn time on the river, and I use pretty much in that time frame. I use mostly all spinning tackle. I fish a lot of tubes. I use a lot of tubes. I use a lot of Ned rigs. This is a fat stick made from River Rock, and I fish swim baits. I use a lot of swim baits, but my go-to bait most of the time, 90% of the time, is a tube. I fish them on mostly all medium rods. I use all St. Croix rods. This is a Legend Elite. I prefer 6/8 and medium action. They handle a 3/16 to 5/8 ounce lure. It's got a sensitive tip on it. Now I also prefer braid most of the time with a fluorocarbon leader. Attach the leader with an Alberto knot, and usually a 2500 or 2000 size reel.
Okay. Let me stop you there, Brian. Talk to me a little bit about, and the audience here, the braid over, going braid to a fluorocarbon leader over going all fluorocarbon or mono. Talk to me a little bit about why you like it.
The one thing with the braid is you have no stretch, but also with the braid and the fluorocarbon leader, you have more feel for your bait. What I mean by that, you can absolutely just about feel it, and that tube's on the bottom, or a Ned rig, a fat stick, or even a swim bait. When I fish the swim baits, I don't swim them so much. That bait's kind of on the bottom. It's like a minnow feeding. Mm-hmm. So, but you can feel that bait on the bottom. With that fluorocarbon leader and that braid, you can feel it. Plus, your hook sets, you'll hook a lot more fish because you don't have to set the hook as hard. When you have mono, like the other rod here is rigged with mono, and I do use a lot of mono too. You have stretch with this mono. Now I also use straight fluorocarbon sometimes,
Okay.
you know, but like this is a mono here line. But most of the time, especially with people when I guide, some of them I have problems sometimes filling the bait.
Okay.
They won't get a good hook set sometimes too till they learn a little bit. You know, a lot of people I take first time, it's all new to them. They never experienced this. So with that braid, a lot of times they can fill that bait, and if they don't get a good hook set with that no stretch, you'll stick that hook in them good.
Okay.
And you won't lose near as many fish.
So as a new conventional angler, because I'm definitely stronger, as you know, on the fly fishing trout side. And we had Brian Shoemaker here last week to talk bass. And, you know, Brian, I've learned a lot from Brian on the fly side of bass. For a new angler in the conventional bass market, do you find it easier for that angler to learn? Is braiding easier? Is it cast easier off the reel?
It does cast easier, I think.
Less
You won't experience the line twist that you will experience with mono.
So you said something there about rods. You said, and here at the shop, as we've grown at our conventional side, we have a range of rods from medium light to mediums to medium heavies, and about every different size from 6'6" up to 7'2". You said here that you prefer a 6'8" medium. Is that 6'8" medium something that you are typically fishing pre-spawn all the way through to post-spawn?
Yeah. I use that same rod pretty much. It has a fast tip on it, and I also use medium light in a fast tip, a 6'8" medium light, for a lot of my jerk baits. I fish a lot of jerk baits with them early in the spring when the water's clear. It's not off cover. I'll use some jerk baits early in the season, but I pretty well much use that. It's it's my go-to guide rod the whole season. I'll fish different plastics on that, you know, fluke type baits, small top water baits, you know.
And who do you like for your small top waters? What do you typically find yourself gravitating to for that?
I use the old original pop art.
Okay.
I use a lot of pop arts. I use a lot of Berkeley. Berkeley makes a couple good poppers. Yep.
All right, Brian. So go ahead.
But these are my pretty much go-to spring baits right here. A tube catches fish. Everyone knows a tube will catch fish. This is a river rock tube. I will say I have used about everybody's tube that I could find over the last, since I've fished the river. You know, I've used Cabin Creek, Right White, you name it, I've used them. And for me personally, my confidence bait is that tube.
Can you hold that package up, Brian? I think you got one package.
Yeah, one of these here. Now this actually is a 2 3/4 ounce standard tube they make, but this is in a K Custom. Of course, it's K Custom. It's one of my baits that I get a custom color made, but it's available to anyone, you know.
Okay.
This is one of their fat sticks, which a lot of guys that fish the river, they use Ned rigs. You know, this is a Ned rig type bait. Use that a lot, not just in cold water, but also I use it pretty much all year. And then I use a swim bait. Now this is a River Rock swim bait. This is a 3 1/4 inch swim bait.
Okay.
So a lot of people are throwing a 3 3/4 inch swim bait.
Okay.
That's a common swim bait size.
Yep.
I got Robert from River Rock to make this in between a smaller swim bait and that larger swim bait that a lot of people throw. And this bait has been awesome for me.
Well, another question I have for you, talking about swim baits and some of the other soft plastics you have there, is that when you look at the wall in any bait shop and tackle shop, and you know ours included, there's thousands of different colors of swim baits and everything else under the sun. How do you go about narrowing down what colors you're using, and does that change throughout the time of the year when you're using, I hear green pumpkin all the time. You're using that now.
It's
Does
hard
that
to beat
switch?
green pumpkin all the time.
Okay.
A green pumpkin, it's hard to beat it. I mean, like this has to be this is a smoking purple flake. Works great in clear water. I just had a rig there. I fish a swim bait this is a swim bait here in a melon candy color. This is a really great swim bait on the Susquehanna and the Juniata, actually. That's another bait that works real good. You can't go wrong with green pumpkin.
So
Day
for
out.
the new angler possibly, or the veteran that's watching this video, if you were to give them two colors that they should run to that if they're headed to fish the Susquehanna or the Juniata, what would be the two or three colors that you'd say, listen, if you have these, you stand a decent chance of success?
Well, a green pumpkin and a smoke and a purple flake bait.
Okay.
There are two baits that are working. Smoke and purple will work when the water is clear, and even when it's not clear. But that green pumpkin will work all the time in both clear water and dirty water.
Okay. Well, Brian, that's what I got right now. But what I'm asking the audience that's watching tonight, you'll be able to find this video on YouTube as well. Here's what we're asking all our viewers, our customers, our followers is, as you watch this video, if you have questions for Brian, please reach out to us. Email us at marketing@precisionflyandtackle.com. Let us know what questions you have. We will answer those questions through follow-up through your email or later videos. We're going to be bringing Brian back on later in the season to talk to us a little bit more in detail on how he's rigging his baits for certain scenarios. We're going to talk hooks. We're going to talk different rigs. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty on how Brian sets up a rig for a day-to-day operation out on the river, both as a guide and also for just leisure fishing on his own. As you know, we've talked about many times in the videos here over the recent weeks, we are continuing to expand our conventional tackle side, both at our Mount Holly Springs and our Lancaster location. If there's companies that you want to see us bring in, be it St. Croix, Shimano, Daiwa, any company, both rods, reels, baits, spinners, whatever it be, please email us at precisionflyandtackle.com or marketing@precisionflyandtackle.com, and we will take those suggestions and continue to gather that information and continue to build our conventional tackle side. Also, suggestions for the shop. We're always open to listening. Again, we are open for curbside pickup at both locations. Again, we can't thank everyone who's supported us throughout this pandemic and continue to support us both online and in store. We look forward to meeting everybody when we can open back up here in the near future. Again, if you have any questions, you can visit us online at precisionflyandtackle.com. You can call the shop at 717-486-4646 and pick the shop closest to you. Again, reach out to us with any questions. Thank you so much for the continued support. We can't thank Brian enough for coming out tonight and supporting us. Again, we thank everybody out there. Thanks again.